In case you're wondering, the state became a state in 1816 and a ban on slavery was written into the state constitution. But at the time, there was a general consensus that the ban only applied to new slaves, not those already living in the territory prior to statehood. But as Mike Tank reports, all that changed with the court case that began in Vincennes.
We have a state-based constitution and we have a federal law.
The legal studies class at Vincennes University prepares students for future careers as paralegals. Part of their education includes a look back in time.
Has anyone ever heard of Polly v. LaSalle?
And at all the history classes I had, this is never brought up.
Student Carrie L. Shaw is not alone. Most Hoosiers have never heard of Polly Strong or the role she played in the state's history.
Polly was a second-generation slave. Her mother had been a slave.
Professor Vanessa Purdom shares Polly's story and how abolitionist lawyers helped her fight for her freedom from Vincennes innkeeper Hyacinth LaSalle.
Many people feel that Indiana is ultra-conservative, but here we have an example of remarkable people that were very courageous in making sure that the fundamental rights of all citizens were available.
The Vincennes Library now holds many of the original court papers from the court case Polly versus LaSalle. The documents reveal the Knox County Circuit Court first ruled in favor of the innkeeper. The case was then appealed to the state's highest court.
The state Supreme Court ruled that the state constitution is quite clear, no slavery or involuntary servitude, therefore Polly is free, and by extension that meant that all of the slaves could no longer be held.
Historian Richard Day says little is known of what happened to Polly Strong. Records show she was baptized at St. Francis Xavier Church around the time her case was filed. The Indiana Historical Bureau reports just one mention of her in a state newspaper after the court decision. We may not know how her life progressed, but we do know her legacy lives on.
It's an ongoing struggle, and we can hark back to these people like Polly Strong that were soldiers in the battle for freedom that still goes on today.
Oh, what an amazing story. Well, coming up, a trip